way out of his way to give back.
Yes, and we will talk about that. My buddy Jerry, how I came to know about him was through Joe, and Jerry does a lot with the North Carolina Hurricanes, and he's been doing a lot with those. And I want you, Jerry, to talk to us a little bit about the inspiration. Yes, thank you for what you do. But can you talk to us a little bit about how you got inspired to um, go out there and give back as much as you have?
Yeah, I'll give you the Cliff Notes version, and later we can talk. There's a link to a video I have. It's on my website that gives people a background of how it all happened. But uh, I work with a lady through an organization called Tactical Civics. But she and I kind of coordinate some things that we put up online, and she edits and does stuff. And I had sent her a video clip, and normally I hear back from her. Now this is right as the storm was happening. This is the end of September, September 26th, September 27th. And I sent her the clip, and I didn't hear back from her. I didn't nothing for a day or two. I'm thinking, well, that's kind of odd, but she's busy, whatever. Didn't think a thing about it, And then about 4 days into that storm, to Hurricane Helene, I'm going up to a cabin I have that I'm a member of a hunting camp up on the mountain, and we're going up to do some work there. And I get a text from her. Hey Jerry, this is Darlene. Something to the effect that, sorry I haven't got back to you. I just now got my cell service back. And I thought, and I knew she was in North Carolina. I mean, I didn't, but it never related
Yeah.
that. And I said, man, she just texted me. I never even thought about that. So I said, she just got a cell. I'm going to pull off to the side of the road so I don't lose my signal, so I can just see if she'll take my call. And fortunately, she did. And we talked for almost an hour. And she was describing to me the devastation in her area. She's south, the Asheville area. Everybody hears about Asheville, but we're a little further west in some of these what they call the haulers there, and that's what they are. And so she was describing all this to me and the devastation. And I could tell in her tone of voice from our conversation that they just didn't, they were just kind of like, we don't know what's going on. We don't know what to do right now. They had been hit so hard, so quick that it just kind of devastated them. And so after Darlene and I talked, and I'm thinking, man, these folks are in need of food, water, tons of stuff, no power, going to be out for weeks and months. And I called my wife and I said, I just got off the phone with Darlene, and she was in the area it was hit, and described some of the things we talked about. And I said, I just feel it in my heart. I said, I got to do something to help these people. I don't know what I can do. I don't have any idea, but man, there's something tells me I need to do what I can to help these folks down there because I'm still in good shape. And I think about that even today in the cold weather they're down there, still some of them intense. But my wife said, you do what you got to do. It's in your heart. You figure out some ideas. I'm behind you 100%. And that's kind of how it all started. And it went from there. And we started out with supplies. I hauled, me and a friend of mine hauled my trailer. I emptied my sound system out and threw everything in. We had a whole trailer full of water, food, kids stuff, dog and food and pets and stuff, everything that we could take down. And after we got there, we found out at that point, that was been like October. We realized that their supplies on that end had pretty much been, they had more than they could use because of the good hearts of the folks all across the country, had donated stuff. But then, I saw my first trip there. I helped a lady get her power back on. These mudslides came down these haulers and Joe and I were talking about it the other day. Maybe even just last night, Joe and I were talking about how these little streams that come down through these mountains, we're talking 4,500 foot high peaks there. They're pretty steep. And they're normally maybe 2 or 3 foot wide that you can, Brian, my friend down there, my friend of mine now, he said, Jerry, you used to be able to step over this creek and not get your feet wet. And when I was there, the water was back to that original level, but the mudslide that brought down trees and houses and all of the variety of different things, they were like 100 yards wide. It was like a football field wide of nothing but mud and destruction and insulation. And that's when I knew I got to keep coming down here because this isn't getting fixed overnight. There was just too much to do. And so my goal is to continue to keep the awareness up about this. I just got back from my third trip between Christmas and New Year's. We were feeding some folks and hauling some food around to them, some warm food. But I'm getting ready to, hopefully when the weather breaks, we're going to help them start rebuilding But currently, my project working with some of these folks through what we made or come up with a website for donations, Adopt a Hauler, is to continue to help them keep them stocked with propane, uh, firewood, heating oil, stuff like that to get them through the winter. Because, like I said, I looked this morning at their weather. It's 5 degrees in the area I was in, and if you're living in a tent with a Mr. Buddy heater, that's roughing it. That's roughing it. So my goal right now is to keep people
Yeah,
aware
I
that
ain't
these
kidding.
people need help. It goes away. I mean, you know how quick the news cycle changes. It goes from North Carolina to then to California, of course. Uh, and the thing is, I just want people to know that these folks still need our help. And that's my goal, is to continue to get this out there. That's why I appreciate you guys having me on to do this, so that we can reach a whole different group of people that maybe would have never heard about what we're doing. So blessings for you guys to allow me to do this.